So just becoming aware, see if you can keep your spine quite straight. If you can't, just lean against something. Yeah, but rather not be hunched forward. So we're just going to drop our energy because we've got a little bit of awareness of where we're at in the body now. And we're going to just drop our energy into our sit bones. Okay. So imagine coming out of the head and gravity is just going to pull us down into our sit bones. That's like where our hips and our pelvis are, right down into the seats. And just imagine all of gravity moving you there. This is your root. Yeah. This is the part of us that we need to ground. So I want you to imagine in your imagination energetic roots coming out of your sit bone, and just imagine them going through the seat that you're sitting on and moving through the floorboards. Maybe you have to take a few trips down through various flats. Just make your way all the way down to the surface of the earth and then dive deep into the moist soil. And becoming aware as you breathe, start to breathe from this lower part of yourself, breathing up through your roots. And these roots are going to dive deeper and deeper past the rocks and twist deep and deep right to the center of the earth and wrap themselves around the core of the planet. And as you breathe, I want you to feel yourself almost locked in, just this idea of being pulled to the earth. And just feeling as you breathe in up through these roots, the energy of Mother Earth. This is our great mother. So this energy of nourishment, this deep nurturing energy, slowing down and feeling how we feel when we slow down and we go into nature and we feel safe in the rhythm of nature. So just allowing yourself to be nature, to remember that you are nature, and just to breathe with the earth. And as you breathe in this earth, becoming aware of this vertical axis that lives in you, up your spine, all the way to the back of your head. And as you breathe in, start to breathe up the back of your spine. And as you breathe out, almost imagine it curling over the front of your head and releasing back down your front body into the earth. And as you breathe up your spine, just starting to tune in with your energy centers on the way up, just becoming aware if there's any blockages, just noticing how it is in your belly and your sacral. This is the part of us that's all about our sexual energy, our creative energy. So just notice how that's feeling for you today. If you want to place a hand on that part of your body, you can. For women, to their womb. For men, we call it the soul temple. Just becoming aware. Am I feeling depleted? Am I feeling like I have no life force energy at all? Or maybe I'm buzzing. And so using that lovely air from Mother Earth and just breathing up into the sacral, expanding your belly. And then breathing up to your solar plexus. I like to think of the solar plexus like the torch. It's the kind of, where am I going? Where's my willpower? Do you feel orientated in your life? Do you know where you're going? Do you feel a bit lost right now? Just notice as you breathe up into this part of your body, just how that might be feeling. For some of you, it'll be physical. For some, you might get an image or just have a sense. And we're just acknowledging these parts of ourselves. We're just checking in. And as we breathe up to the heart space, maybe placing a hand on your heart. See if you can actually feel the beat of your heart. Don't forget to breathe. And just, if you can feel your heart, just feel that rhythm that's constantly there as a background frequency in our lives. Our loyalist companion is our heartbeat. And then breathing up into your throat chakra. If you want to swallow a couple of times, you can. Becoming aware if you're feeling more restricted or more you want to express. And the throat is also connected to your ears. So just noticing, like, how much are you listening right now to what I'm saying? Or are you drifting off into other things? And how is it for you to deeply listen? And listening beyond the mind, listening through the body. Like, you know what it's like when you're with someone who's really present and really listening to you. How great this is. Yeah. So if our throat chakra is not aligned, we often can't even hear people. And we can't even say what we need to say. So just acknowledging that a lot of us hold trauma around the throat and just breathing into the throat. And then breathing up to the third eye, like to see it as the, the little man in the airplane, the bird's eye view, this higher perspective we have on life. So much when we're in drama and dealing with stressful times, we lose perspective. So just notice if you can just raise your consciousness a little bit to just have a bigger bird's eye view of where you are in your life right now, the process that you're in. So often we're wanting to rush and fix and get to some kind of destination and not understanding that life is a process. And identifying where we are in that process is so much to do with perspective and our third eye. So just like giving that third eye a little energetic clean, like washing the windows, and then breathing up into our crown. And I like to imagine like a little spider's web, because that apparently is the strongest material on the planet, which is amazing. So imagine a golden spider web coming out the crown of your head and almost connecting you up to the stars. You might want to choose a star. You might want to choose the sun, wherever you want to put that, just this golden light. And almost like that wraps around and gives you a little tug. So now you've got this connection to the core of the earth and a connection to the star or a sun. And now I want you to breathe in your root chakra, up the spine, up to the top, and then breathe out, up into the crown. And then I want you to draw the energy from above and bring it down into the earth. So we start to kind of create almost like an infinity loop through us. So we can cross over at the heart. So this idea of this connection between above and below. And you just play with this, see how the energy wants to move, connect you from earth to sky. But all the time we're in this central vertical axis. Yeah, there's nothing outside of ourselves. We're in this column. You can see it as a column of light. And this is our center. Yeah, often in spiritual terms, we talk about being grounded and we talk about our center and we think our center is some kind of midpoint in the middle of our stomach or something. Our center is this column. Yeah, so this is our center. And for some of us, we might need to be more grounded to feel centered. And for some of us, we might need to be more heart-centered to feel centered. And for some of us, we might need to move up into inspiration and illumination. So just notice in yourself, like, what do I need to feel centered? Do I need to feel grounded? Do I need to feel more in my heart? And just becoming aware of that. So as you orientate yourself into your central axis, this is the beginning of becoming sovereign. So only when we have got our roots in the earth and our connection above, and we're connected to ourselves, only then may we move into the horizontal axis. And the horizontal axis comes through our heart space. So becoming aware of the breath as it breathes you in and out. And the heart pumps. Well, the heart is not actually a pump, but the heart moves. So just imagine this energy kind of moving out and in through your heart space. So this is where we meet the other, the outside world. This is where our senses start to come into play. So just tuning into your senses now, just tuning into all of the sounds you can hear in the space. So starting to like get quiet and just noticing how far can I stretch my listening right now. And then tune into your body, like tune into, see if you can feel the air on your skin, the temperature of your skin, the clothes on your skin. See if you can really feel without even moving. See if you can just tune into your skin, to all of that sensory feel that lives on your body. And we're not going to eat right now, but just imagine a lemon. Like, just imagine yourself biting down on a really bitter, juicy lemon. And for some of you, you'll start to salivate just thinking about this. So just start to think in your mind's eye, imagine yourself literally biting down on a lemon, really juicy lemon. And if you do salivate, just taking a swallow and just activating your taste. And smell, again, just notice if there are any smells in the space. And we're not going to go into the external visual, but this is an idea. Like often they call the five senses the five thieves because they kind of steal our energy. But when we learn to work with our sensory system properly, it actually becomes our first place beyond our sovereign self that we start to interact with this world. So tuning our sensory system is kind of vital for us to be able to tap into our intuitive system, to be able to sense the world. You know, when I started my journey, I couldn't smell half as much things as I can smell now. So we can expand this part of ourselves. We can become more sensitized to our sensory system. A lot of us have quite dead, closed down because we've bombarded with stimulation all the time, and it shuts down our sensory system. So then we become aware of the outside world. And then we start to notice as we interact with the outside world, do I contract? Do I like go inwards? Or does my heart open in the presence of this person, place, or thing? And as we learn to feel the difference between that opening and closing within our heart space, we start to be able to navigate in the world. We start to be able to feel with our heart our path. And alignment doesn't come from thinking. Alignment comes from being connected to your heart space, to be able to follow the call of your heart. The mind is a faithful servant. And you can try this for yourself. I've been pretty much trial and erroring this most of my adult life, and I can tell you it only takes me to more bliss, more joy, more expansion, and more love, following my heart and my head. It usually takes me to a lot of dead ends, lessons, yeah, and experiences that I need to have to understand the limitations of the mind. It doesn't mean we can't use our mind, but it's secondary. So as we become aware of our heart space and that opening and closing, I ask you tonight to tune into that, because sometimes when words are said and they come from the heart, they literally open your heart space, and there's a sense of resonance that happens. There's a sense of kind of like, you're speaking my language, but it's through the body. Yeah. So when someone speaks truth, it's not universal, it's their truth. And if their truth vibrates and opens your heart space, then you're connected. Yeah. Then you can trust that. You can trust that connection. And all healing happens in relationships. I have a beautiful teacher at the moment, Katie Dove, and I'm really learning so much about the heart right now. The intelligence of this heart space. So just inviting your heart into this container tonight to be the judge. to let go of your mind for just a couple of hours and to take a journey with your heart and your soul.